Hello there, students. Thank you for being part of this presentation. Today we're focusing on U.S. History, Semester A, and we're looking at Unit 1, the historical process, and our main focus is on analyzing historical information tutorial. Please remember that it is highly required or highly encouraged for you to have a notebook in which you're taking notes in order to be able to comprehend the material and use those notes to answer the questions that you will encounter in this tutorial. Our objective for today is that you will use a variety of methods to analyze historical information. Let's move on. We are now on page 10 of Analyzing Historical Information tutorial. This is your lesson activity on organizing information. Let's read the directions so you'll know what to do. Read the instruction for this self-check activity. Type in your response to each question and check your answers. At the end of the activity, write a brief evaluation. Activity. Researchers benefit from arranging information with graphic organizers such as timelines or sequencing charts. Depending on the kind of information, researchers can choose from a variety of graphic organizers. You are going to read about two events in U.S. history. You will then choose a different graphic organizer for each event to chart out the information you read. Choose and read about any two of the following events in U.S. history. So you're given here a couple of links in order for you to see the different information provided to you. In this case, about the Industrial Revolution, World War I, World War II, and the Dust Bowl. So you are supposed to select two of these ones here, and they all look fantastic to me. They all provide so much information for you to be able to complete this assignment. For each event you choose, create one of the graphic organizers listed in the lesson: a sequencing chart, cause and effect, compare and contrast, categorizing, or a timeline. Most students, to be honest with you, they just put together here a timeline of the different events. Now, you need to obviously show to your teacher that you're comprehending all of this. Let's keep on reading. So, for each event you choose, create one of the graphic organizers listed in the lesson. So we have all of the graphic organizers here. Make sure that you click on each of them and select which one you will be using. To organize the information presented in each article, use a different graphic organizer for each of the two chosen topics. Pay attention to what information is presented to choose the best graphic organizer for each topic. Again, make sure that you select basically two events from here and that you use the different ways of presenting your information, such as, again, sequence chart, cause and effect, compare and contrast, categorizing, or a timeline. Remember, you are to use basically, well, if you want to go for it, use all of them. Provide the information with all of the different graphic organizers and just follow directions there. We are now on page 15 of Analyzing Historical Information tutorial, and this is lesson activity, identifying point of view. Let's read the directions here. Read the instructions for this self-check activity, type in response to each question, and check your answers. At the end of the activity, write a brief evaluation of your work. Activity. Understanding an author's point of view can reveal the validity of an argument and the reliability of the source. Read the following article about the U.S. Civil War, then answer the following questions about the different viewpoints. Make sure you read this. Make sure you take notes on this particular U.S. Civil War link. This will help you put together your responses. Part A. What are two views that Americans have of the cause of the Civil War? You need to read this article in order to provide this answer here. You need to provide view 1 is this, and make sure you thoroughly explain what you're saying. View 2 says this, and again, make sure that you explain exactly what you're saying. Don't just put view 2 is that some of them were against or some of them were in favor. No, you need to provide a solid response explanation there. Part B. Give an example of how politicians have clouded the issue of the cause of the Civil War. Based on the article, again, you provide a good solid paragraph here explaining the answer. Part C. Do the historians in the article generally agree or disagree with one another about the causes and legacy of the Civil War? What does this agreement or disagreement tell us about the reliability and validity of their views? So you're basically answering two questions here. Make sure that you provide a good solid paragraph, but I would highly encourage you to do one paragraph for the first part and another paragraph for the second part of the question. Part D. What is a reason that some historians provide to explain why many Americans support ideas that states' rights caused a civil war? You have to read the article. The article has this answer here, and make sure to provide at least a solid paragraph here. Part E. Next, write a half to full page essay discussing why you think Americans' viewpoint differ on the cause and legacy of the Civil War. In your essay, you should take into account the different backgrounds of Americans, such as Northerners, Southerners, white, and black. In addition, describe your own viewpoint on this topic and explain why you hold that view. Use information and evidence from the article to support your claims. Here, I would highly encourage you to do a 5-paragraph essay. You need to provide an introduction, which introduces the topic. Then you need to provide at least 3 body paragraphs. And finally, you need to provide a conclusion. All of the information that you're being asked to write here requires you to do that, because obviously you need to address each point on a separate paragraph. Make sure that you are doing your best here. This is basically the end for the lesson activity. Make sure you continue on to the following pages of this tutorial, and I will see you guys shortly in the next tutorial.